Now I'd like to introduce the stars. We're going to steal from sponges. We're going to learn from Tim. We'll be learning from Doug. So please, gentlemen from College Place, with your affection and love for Milton-Freewater, share what you know.
I know a lot of places in the crowd, in this case, and this is Tim Payne, our superintendent at College Place. I want to be really clear tonight. We're not here to tell you how to do this. We're here to tell you how we did it. It only took us 65 years. So I think you guys have a little bit better chance than we did. I can tell you right now, with the money I saw that you received in tonight, you've already taken in more than we did in what we had to use for the promotion of our bond. So we had to take a step back and we had to look at why we weren't successful in the last 10 or 12 years. And one of the things that I knew is that I really appreciated my superintendent. When superintendents are the driver of promoting a bond or a levy and they're unsuccessful, they don't stay in the community very long. They get moved on. That's just the way it works. Look at Walla, it just happened. So what we decided to do, myself and another fellow board member, Troy Fitzgerald, who's a pastor at Walla University and on our board, we decided to create a three-legged stool. Tim, Troy, and myself were the spokespersons for our bond committee. We just had one bond committee of about 24 people that were highly committed. That's not all the people that did the work, but that was the central committee. And any communication piece that we put out, Troy, Tim, and myself wrote it together. And they would edit my writing, and I'd go back and say, no, nobody knows what that word means. So I kind of drove them nuts sometimes. But we knew we had to do some things different, not just for the sake of being different. We had a lot to gain and a lot more to lose. This was basically our last shot to attempt for a high school in College Place. Because we knew Walla was going to run a bond to do major construction at Y. So we were going broke. And Tim, jump in any time. We want to do a lot of question and answer, but I think one of the things that we figured out is that we had to communicate our story, and we had to be in charge of our story. So in Washington, most school districts have levies, and they have had for a long time. Ours is about 27% of our operating budget. So we decided to build a larger group that we could use into the future to use for levy promotion. And I got to give kudos to Troy. He started up a Facebook page called Our Place, College Place. And I was hoping to show you it tonight. I can still show you the page, I can't show you the volume, but we made a video. Troy organized that. It's about 3.5 minutes long. It was really good. You can go to our Facebook page and look at it. It was just another avenue of communication. And that's really important to use every avenue to control your story. And you got thoughts on that part as far as communication?
Yeah, I think the number of modalities and places you can meet. So one of the things that we did, I've been fortunate enough to do 4 bonds, and the 4th one passed in my 15 years at College Place. So I could talk about several things, but I think one of the things that really helped us pass our bond is we already held one meeting at the school, and we were meeting where people were. And so we actually met in the old Valley Chapel School out there, because that was where a lot of people were, and it related to them, and we didn't do anything. Those folks out there who had the key, they organized it. A lady showed up with a bunch of cookies. It was a great spread. I showed up at the end, and because I work for the community, and Doug works in agriculture, he says, if we need a suit and tie, we'll give you the nod. Otherwise, we got this. And so farmers talk to farmers. And then we went to a few other firehouses, and different people came. And then we went to school, and then we went to some churches, and we went to a little bit of everything, and different people came. So if you always go to the same place, and you always have the same people talking, you're always going to get the same answers and the same responses. So I would encourage you to hit as many different modalities and have as many different people speaking. It's been said a couple times here. It's true, Dr. Clark and I go back a long time. I don't look old enough to be a superintendent for 18 years, but I have been. But early in my career, when Dr. Clark and I were both up in North Central Washington area, you know, we talk about these things. We go to all those different places and whatnot, and people expect you and I to get up and talk. We just do. So we're not, in these situations, I hate to tell you this, we're not the most believable people. Right? We're not. Who's the most believable people? The people in that neighborhood. Those are the most believable people. So I appreciate those who just say, hey, we're going to visit with the senior citizens. The business person ought to talk to the business people. The farmer ought to talk to the farmer people because they say the same language, just like Doug was saying. Vocabulary is critical. Now I'm going to put my teacher hat on. Thank you, Lori. I love Lori, by the way. Because no one's life. So anyway, vocabulary is critical. I sit up here and use 4-syllable words, and if I'm talking to those people, when I was talking at the university, yes, they needed me with my suit on and use 4-syllable words at the university. That was the appropriate way to communicate, and that's who they wanted to see. When we were writing different communications, Doug's absolutely correct. You know, he makes a joke out of it, but it was absolutely critical because he was saying it in language that people would understand.